we were talking before the break in terms of the economy and other things that, unfortunately, the two shootings last weekend that were horrific. These issues, get involved. Make sure your representatives know and voice your concerns about those so that they can adequately represent you and be that vehicle that's necessary. With the economy, I was having a conversation with a few colleagues, and we were actually comparing and contrasting what it was like from 2009 to 2016, during the Obama years, as well as what it is now. And it's not even close when you look at there's those on the left that say, oh, Trump inherited a good economy from President Obama. We know that's not the case based on each and every one of the data points. And, I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we get in depth. But, here we are in, I guess it's technically the second Friday in August, but we had jobs numbers that came out last week. And, they're trying to basically make a self-fulfilling prophecy that the economy is going negative because, look at the GDP growth. It's below 2 for the quarter. And, if everyone remembers, it was President Obama and the Democrats said, you have to get used to that GDP. This is the only quarter we've had that. And we've had an aggregate of almost 3+% in each of those quarters, in each of the years that Trump has been president in the White House. So we need to continue to make sure that history isn't changed to dictate that this was anything other than the tax cuts, the regulation cuts, the policy changes, the consumer confidence, the fact that the unemployment rate is where it is, the fact that the labor participation rate is where it is, the fact that we have consistent GDP growth quarter to quarter, showing a strong economy. We need to make sure that not only continues to spread in the country, but we got to get some of that here in South Jersey and build on that, despite the barriers that our governor continues to push through with some of the policies on the state level. And that's why election 2019 is so important. And as I always say, get engaged. Make sure that you're coming out to vote in November for 2019. In the assembly here in Atlantic County, you've got Phil Gunther and John Risley running for assembly. Know their names, follow them on Facebook, get to know them, go to a meet and greet. They can win these seats for assembly. You've got Danny Levinson as county executive, along with freeholder candidates, Amy Gatto, who is our chairperson. We need to get her reelected along with Rich Days, and we have to get elected Suman Majumdar over in Atlantic City. And as well as those county candidates, we've got municipal candidates across Atlantic County as well as the district. Get out and vote. Make sure you vote. These are the Murphy midterms. You want things to change. You want to have an impact. Send Republicans and Murphy a message that you're coming out to vote this November. We need to get out and vote. Follow those individuals on Facebook. Look out, Google them, find information on them. Make sure you go to a meeting that they may be going to for a meet and greet. Get to know them, because these are great candidates. These are great Republicans that can really do a lot of work for us, representing Atlantic County and going to Trenton as well as the county.
That's right. They're fiscal conservatives. They are looking out for your money, for your hard-earned middle class taxpayers. You need to do your research on all these candidates, because when you do, you will find that those are the candidates that you want in office. And as Brian put it, Mr. Murphy needs to be sent a message. Now, mind you, it would probably be hard to get him in his Italian villa right now. But
yeah,
you know what? It's because he doesn't understand the burden that the middle-class taxpayer in New Jersey bears. He will push the legislation, but he will not do what is right for the taxpayer. And so we are the ones, and because he's such a union person, and because so many people in our state are union people, they continue to believe that it's okay to, we need this Mr. Murphy. No, you don't. Mr. Murphy and his ilk will bankrupt our state. And when our state is bankrupted, all your contracts are going to be renegotiated. And believe me, I want people who are in the union to continue to feel that they are being supported. But I expect unions to get rid of those workers who have sat on their butts their entire working life because they're union people. They know they won't be dismissed, and they're going to get their salaries and their pensions when they retire. If you don't think that ticks me off, then you don't know me.
Now, this is something that's going to continue to be a point of discussion, and this is, again, what we've talked about. Get out and let your voice be heard. Voting is a huge piece of that, and you're able to elect individuals that will listen to you. Obviously, our current assembly assemblymen, I should say, are not doing the job, and we know that. And that's why we have to replace them with Phil Gunther and John Risley specifically to send to Trenton to actually have representation again. And then obviously over down, Kate May Cumberland, our friends down there, Eric Simonson and Antoine McClellan, are also running for assembly in LD1, as well as Michael Testa for state senate. Mm-hmm. We need to get these men elected. We need to get these Republicans across South Jersey elected, because if things continue as they are, we're not even going to have a voice. We're not even going to have a pushback to issues like that. And that's why getting engaged. Look, we're a citizen government. We are citizen representatives. We engage because we govern ourselves. That's why politics is important. You know, I understand that not everyone is gung ho about politics, because it has gotten, unfortunately, quite nasty. There's been extremism and hatred and vileness, and you've seen this latest thing with Twitter now. You know, the double standards.
Horrible.
You know, people can disagree and be respectful, but when someone disagrees with you and then they call you hateful names and they try to label you vile things, it's just because they don't agree with you. I mean, what has happened? And
right.
Unfortunately, that decency continues to disappear, and we need to get respectful and disciplined candidates back on the ballot, back in office, so that we can have these discussions and not have the point of negativity that we have right now.